Hey, this is Sean Fairchild here for Genzler Amplification, and you're watching Bass Incredible. All right, so my name is Sean Fairchild. I'm here today for Genzler Amplification. That is who we've got here. This is Jeff Genzler of Genzler Amplification. We have Scott Andres right here. We have new for this year a smaller version of the MG800 Magellan head. So this is the original guy, 800 watt head. This is the MG350 new for this year. It's the same concept, same preamp, minus the drive channel, so only the clean channel on this guy, but same EQ centers and 350 watts of output at 4 ohms or 2.67 ohms. So much like its bigger brother, it can go down to 2.67 ohms. So if you want to hook up an 8 ohm cab and a 4 ohm cab, you can do that, or 3 8 ohm cabs, whatever you like. And matched with that, we have these new cabs. These are the Bass Array BA102. So this is a 10-inch driver, and these are 2.5-inch paper cone drivers, not tweeters. So just like the Bass Array 12.3, it uses all paper cone drivers, so you don't have that harshness, that sort of annoying upper mid fork on a plate tweeter thing. And they've crossed over at 800 hertz, so they get quite a bit more of the upper frequencies of the notes and more of the definition of what you're playing than a typical tweeter would. There's no L pad on the back, just like the BA123, so you just plug in and go, control everything from the amp. And there's an optional cradle here. You can buy this unit as a package, and there's a cradle that the MG350 fits into right there with these thumb screws, and you can transport the whole thing as one unit. They're very light. As you can see, I've got one down here, and easy to pick up with one hand. They're about 24 pounds, 25 pounds. Nice deep dish handle. That's pretty much what we've got new for this year. So this is something that we haven't really seen being done in the bass world very much, but it's really common in the pro audio world. So basically, this is a vertical array, and what that does is it forces the dispersion of the sound from these littler speakers to go really far on the horizontal plane, where is ordinarily playing through a tweeter, you would get a lot of beaming effects. The high frequencies are just going to go straight forward, while the bass frequencies from the woofer kind of go everywhere. So the benefit of having this array is that when you're standing to the side, when you're standing in front of it, even when you're standing a little bit behind the cab, it sounds virtually the same. So the drummer can hear your tone just like you hear it. It's really pretty fundamentally different from the way a normal cabinet works. It's a wonderful design. On these speakers, these are all Fatal speakers, the 3-inch drivers and the 10-inch drivers on this model, and the 12-inch large driver on that model. These are all Fatal, whereas on the BA102, these guys are all Eminence drivers. Even though the brand is different, the specs are all still very, very similar. And I think, as I mentioned, the crossover happens at about 800 hertz. The benefit of the array concept is that everybody's going to hear a similar sound to what the bass player hears. So that's obviously a pro for everyone. It's not going to be kind of a detriment to any kind of a player. Upright players specifically tend to like it. They can hear a lot more of their attack on the strings. But really it just helps with mitigation of volume on stage. That's a huge thing. Oftentimes when I'm playing, if my cab's too far behind me, I have my volume jacked up much higher than it needs to be because I just can't hear myself very well. I may not be in line with my speaker. I may not be in front of my cab. And being off axis with a traditional cab, I usually can't hear myself very well, and I can't hear my attack, so I end up playing too hard and I wear myself out. So with the bass array, you end up hearing the same tone that you would standing in front of it from off axis much further than you would on a normal cab. It really helps out with your physical playing technique and helps keep you from getting exhausted. Coolest thing I have seen at NAMM so far. Well, it's only Thursday, it's Friday. It's Friday.
Yeah, that's what I tested this morning.
Yeah, I gotta think about that. Well, I think the coolest thing is really just seeing all these great musicians, but as a bass player, especially seeing really great bassists just descend on Anaheim and be really cool with each other. I think that's the coolest thing about being a bassist is that we all tend to be pretty nice folks and get along, and it's just great to learn. This great Spanish bass player was just over here teaching me some flamenco stuff. It's just great to to talk shop and geek out on gear, and everybody seems to get along. It's a wonderful environment. I'm sad it only happens here once a year. I would be here more often if I could.
Well, Sean, thank you very much for your time.
All right, thank you very much.